Driving through many small towns in KZN, you'll most likely have come across Harry Gwala Street or Harry Gwala Avenue. You may have also heard about the Harry Gwala District Municipality, or the Harry Gwala Stadium, where your favorite team may have played a PSL game or two. Growing up, you see the monuments, drive on the streets, and to be honest with you, I don't know who the man is. What it is that this man has done to deserve such respect in our public spaces. Who was Harry Gwala and what was his contribution? Reports say he was suspicious of the CODESA negotiation process, in terms of winning our demands over the table with the white apartheid oppressors, and so he did not trust what the outcomes of this process could be.
In other words, we're condemned for defending ourselves. I can assure this conference, when you talk of people who just talk war, the Natal Midlands, people who don't want peace. I was asked if I have ever gone to David Ntombela to shake hands with him. I'll be the last man to do that. Moy River, almost 4 weeks ago, David Ntombela was there conducting his armies, which murdered our people. Not a word from our own organization saying he is the man of peace, because Ntombela is called now Peace Lord. As I'm speaking to you, he lives in a motel just next to Moy River, conducting operations there against our own people. They carry all assortment of weapons.
The Lion of the Midlands grew up in the Pietermaritzburg area. Born on 30 July in 1920 near Pietermaritzburg, he was a politician and teacher. The Lion joined the South African Communist Party in 1942 and the African National Congress Youth League 2 years later in Natal. It was during this time that he began organizing workers in the chemical and building industries and established the Rubber and Cable Workers Union in Howick. After the banning of the ANC in 1960 and again 1963, Gwala became active underground until his arrest in 1964 for sabotage and for recruiting members for Umkhonto weSizwe. He was sent to Robben Island for 8 years. He was released in 1972 but restricted to Pietermaritzburg. As a result, he could not pursue his teaching or trade union activities. He then ran a laundry collection business in the area. In 1977, he was sentenced to life imprisonment at Robben Island. Gwala became known for his Marxist-Leninist teachings, particularly among the youth while at Robben Island. While he was in prison, his wife Elda passed away, but he was not allowed to attend the funeral. In the 1980s, a motor neuron disease robbed him of the use of his arms, leading to his release from prison in November 1988.
Many of our people have perished in the course of the struggle. In detention, on the battlefield, in the townships, and in prison. But they have nothing to regret. We chose in 1961 to die on our feet than to live a perpetual life of slavery, living on our knees.
Gwala was sometimes described as too blunt and too emotional about issues. He was also regarded as a harsh warlord because he was uncompromising when it came to the need to defend the people.
People who just talk war, the Natal Midlands, people who don't want peace. I was asked if I have ever gone to David Ntombela to shake hands with him. I'll be the last man to do that.
Upon his release from Robben Island in 1988, Mdala helped with the recruitment of health professionals for a newly formed union, Nehawo. in particular at Edendale Hospital, where he was once expelled. That explains why Edendale Hospital, as the biggest in the area, became a focal point of struggle through worker strikes, with the special branch raiding it more often to seize shop stewards. The Lion of the Midlands was generally understood to many to be a militant, firebrand leader, particularly in the early 1990s. In a sense, this portrayal of a firebrand was overemphasized in ways that eclipsed his deep intellectual verse.
Sesifike esikhathini lapho iningi labantu balana abansundu nabamhlophe bephila ngokudayisa amandla abo kulabo abangama-capitalists ezimayini lana emaplazini and ikakhulukazi ke nasemafactory lana. Imithetho ethi shawe iyayinciphisa njalo indlela yokuphila kwabantu, ngoba umhlaba wonke sifumanisa manje ukuthi uma ungekho ezandleni zikahulumeni usezandleni zongxowankulu. Abantu bona bangabe nawo umhlaba, babe nezixintshana lezi ezincane ezibizwa ngokuthi amaplot, lapho bakha khona imizi yabo, noma lapha la kwakuyindawo ezingama-reserve sezancishisa, bekhona iy'ndawanyana la kuthiwa bayolima khona amazala. Okusho ukuthi-ke njengoba kuyibona abakha wonke umcebo walelizwe abantu base-South Africa, kufanele futhi babe nezwi ekubeni wabuka kanjani lo mcebo. Socialism-ke iyona-ke eyonika impendulo eyanele ezweni leli elifana ne-South Africa.
On the occasion of the 80th anniversary of the African National Congress, on 8 January 1992, Harry Gwala was awarded the Istwalandwe Award, the highest honor bestowed by the ANC on members for dedication, service, selflessness to the liberation struggle. President Nelson Mandela said in his address at Gwala's funeral that it was precisely because of the recognition of Mpepetwa's tenacity that the ANC awarded him this honor. He stood with the people who were under attack during the violence fomented by the IFP with the assistance of Bantustan Zulu government and the de Klerk government through the South African police. Gwala ensured that people under siege were defended through self-defense units. Scores of displaced people with their homes burnt down during this time would camp in Gwala's home for help and protection as a leader. Amongst other interventions, he allocated land to the displaced people without seeking permission from the apartheid Pietermaritzburg municipality authorities. He was not going to recognize that enemy municipality government. In doing this, he confronted and directed the authorities to rather charge him than the people he had directed to build houses to settle on municipal land. Those large human settlements, which are now well developed, are today's legacy of the man that he was. Commemorations of leaders are not just about memories of lives well lived, and the packaging of cosmetic events designed as symbolic remembrance, albeit those initiatives are not insignificant. But more importantly, the life and times of leaders such as Harry Gwala should impose upon us, the living, a great sense of soul-searching on whether we are still discharging similar commitments to the cause of our people as they did. Great leaders and icons, like all human beings, live and die. But what distinguishes them from the rest of us is the immortality of their ideas, their teachings, and the imprints of their footsteps. Those imprints that they leave behind continue to breathe life into the successive generations. These immortal legacies of great leaders become a standard, setting a high bar for generations of future leaders. This becomes the case because these leaders and their revolutionary trudges, whilst they live, become a transcendent fountain of inspiration.